But the Revenue Mobilisation, Allocation and Fiscal Commission says that work on a new revenue allocation formula for political office holders is nearing completion. Chairman of the Commission, Mohammed Shehu, says the proposed formula, covering both vertical and horizontal, the revenue sharing among the three tiers of government, is expected to be finalised within the year and presented to relevant authorities. News Central's Idong Joseph joins us live for this story from Abuja. Idong Joseph, what key changes are being proposed in the new revenue allocation formula?
Well, the meeting yesterday, it wasn't clearly stated what changes are going to be made in the new review that the Commission is undertaking at the moment. But I would like you to know that the session yesterday was not an interrogative session, neither was it an interactive session between lawmakers to get more details on this review process. They only hinted lawmakers as they came yesterday to give appraisal of their 2025 budget and also make presentation of the budget for the current proposal for the current year. So in terms of what changes are being made in the review that is ongoing, that wasn't clearly stated. The only thing they mentioned was that it has been, they've already concluded an aspect of that and transmitted to the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, which later will be transferred to the President and then back to the House for them to review and then pass it into law. For now, it wasn't clear what changes are going to be made, but we hope that when all of this process is done, we will get to see what changes are being made compared to what currently exists.
So what timeline has the Commission given for the final approval and implementation? What processes are remaining before it takes effect?
Well, in terms of implementation, we wouldn't know what timeline that implementation will commence, except when the review process, the whole aspect of the review process is done, and then it becomes law. That is when we hope that immediately the implementation will commence, just as they said, within the year. So we hope that it could be any time because there was no specific date on when the whole process is going to be done. And same thing, we hope that at the end of it, if they keep to their word and at the end of this year they finish, then we hope that by January next year, implementation will commence. But in terms of implementation, no specific date also to when implementation is going to commence, except the whole of this process is done and then it becomes law, the new revenue formula for states, local governments, and even the federal government, and as well as political office holders, as they stated that that review is concerning especially ministers being appointed by the president. So, except all of that is done before we know when implementation is going to start.
All right, Idong Joseph there with the update. You're still live with us on the 12th.